Jack's Business Talk. And today I wanted to take a minute to reflect on something. So my 5 years of SOC are slowly coming to an end. And what are some of the biggest takeaways I've come across? And what are some things that I'm going to do differently from here on out? The first thing that comes to mind is making sure you're taking advantage of trying to find different lenders, getting two or three different quotes when you buy a place, so you are finding what fits your needs in that time. Must be full of hot air today, but my breath's warming up this little truck pretty quick. So anyway, the second thing I've learned is to stop taking on so many projects. I do more of the value add type of process, and I enjoy the process. But while working a W-2 job, and it gets to be very overwhelming very quick, all the work that needs to be done on some of these places that I take on. And with that being with that being said, I'm going to focus my efforts on less time consuming projects. And I'm not going to I'm not going to buy places that need roofs, bathrooms, flooring, paint the walls, kitchens. I can do all that, and I don't mind doing all that. However, with crunch time coming, and I'll explain what I'm talking about in a second, I don't have time for that. I need to just do stuff that I can either do myself very quickly, like painting, and then contract out the flooring, and just get stuff going, like 1, 2, 3 done. I don't have time for that kind of stuff right now. So another thing I learned in the 5 years of grinding trench hole is that your network is your net worth. And for me, it all comes down to the fact that, I've gotten to know so many people, and I've gotten to know great contractors and agents and everything else, all because I started talking to people about what I'm doing. And that led into phone conversations and contacts and, friends and everything else that you would need for your investment journey. And I'm not saying I'm even done trying to network. It's just, you have to keep expanding your network, just keep going, because you never know what the next person you might be able to add to their lives, as well as what they can bring to the table for you. So that's the third thing that I've learned in the 5 years of grind. I was looking in the camera and I saw how dirty that window is. So anyway, the next thing I learned is be quick to fire and slow to hire. And what I'm talking about here is I've had some bad contractors in the past, and I just constantly was on cleanup duty. Hey, personal manager. But I was constantly on cleanup duty, fixing, or I shouldn't say fixing, just doing the finishing details and constantly trying to finish up their stuff. And it just got to the point where I can't afford to keep, if I'm going to keep cleaning up after you. And by cleaning up, I'm talking about just the fine details of, like, trim work, for example. Like, don't leave big giant gaping gaps. Like, cut it correctly. Like, the area I invest in, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but, like, I can't have a 1/4 of an inch gap. That's too much, way too much. Or like overlapping steel plates and doing a 90 instead of taking the extra few seconds and grabbing an angle grinder and doing 245s. Like, it's just spotty, crappy work. I'm tired of having to clean up. Personal manager, I'm reading your comment. I'm not sure if I'm reading it right. If you want to either reword that, or if that is correct, I'm not quite sure. I didn't know that. But yeah, so I should have let go of a lot of contractors and the in the past, and I should have been, when I found better contractors, I should have been using them more often. Something else I've learned in the journey is make sure you take care of the good contractors. Make them want to come back, and make them sure that you're the top of their priority list. Don't make them wait for payday. If you don't have the money for their bill, then why are you hiring them? And let's see, what else have I learned in the past 5 years? Honestly, I wasn't sure. Personal manager, honestly, I wouldn't put it past if Putin was over here in the U.S. I just wasn't sure if he was, or if you were trying to get me to answer a question of what I was talking about with flooring and stuff. But yeah, so the other big thing I learned is don't overspend. And what I'm talking about is, so one of my biggest things when I was first starting off is I would completely blow the budget, and I would overspend on stuff that just wasn't necessary. Like I would buy the high-end cabinets, and for like, it's not going to raise the rents. I would do a lot of extra stuff because it looks nice, but it doesn't raise the rents. So I was shooting myself in the foot by blowing the budget, and by toning it down and just making sure that I'm building to the area. Maximize what you can get for the area, but don't really go up too much above that. And I'll give you an example with the cabinets. For example, I used to buy these, beautiful cabinets, and then I would hang them and stuff, like, obviously, when I could have literally just went over to my buddy's wood shop, because I used to build cabinets with him, and just cut new faces for them, done new faces for the doors and the drawers and all that kind of stuff. Instead of waiting 3 weeks for everything to come in and then spending another couple days installing everything, I could have literally went over there and probably had everything done in like 3-4 days, because I'm painting them. So it's like, to do a nice stain and then veneer on top of that takes a lot longer than just prepping the faces and the doors and all that for paint. Like, so that's something. So again, and that's something else I do now, is I just paint. So trying to think of one more before sending you guys off for today. Okay, I got a good one for you. When I first started, okay, I used to go to every single person that would apply, whether I had a feeling whether they qualified or not. I wouldn't have them fill out the application ahead of time, and I would meet them on site and show everyone my place. And it just became such a monumental waste of time, because half the people that are showing up to these places don't qualify. Why am I wasting my time with these people? So it's like, if they don't want to fill out a pre-screener, and I'm not even saying like a pre-screener in the fact of like you're going to charge them for it. It could just be a Microsoft Word document. Just have them fill it out. Just type in the answers and just shoot it back to you. Like, screen, you don't even have to do that. You want to make it real quick? I'll tell you what you do. You have them go on Credit Karma and screenshot the credit score and send it to you. And then have them do like the little Microsoft Word thing. Just type in your answers. And it's just gonna be real vague. Just, I was using Mike Butler for the longest time, and I really liked how that one was going. But just simplify your life. And then when you go to show the unit, just say, hey, just do an open house. Just be like Dion does. Hey, I am here on this Saturday from noon till 4. If you want to show up, great. And I'll tell you something else I'm thinking about doing is I want to get a little hotspot and do self-guided tours for some of these units that are in better areas. You know, they can go up and have like a little, like have a little, like a little ring camera show, because before they gain entrance, I'm already gonna have a picture of their driver's license. I'm gonna have see them on the ring camera, show them with their driver's license, and I'll have their license on file, you know, because I'm not gonna let them in unless I have a picture of it, and just a few other things I can cover myself with. So, with all that being said, that's something else I've learned over the 5 years of SUC. And with everything else, I think that's really all I have to say for this live stream. Thank you all for tuning in, and may the sun hit you in your shoulders and you have a evening full of awesomeness.